So, we've just had the world premiere, I believe, of Deathpit. For those of the audience that don't know, I don't know where you've been, but if you'd like to start, Greg, introduce yourself and tell us your involvement with the film and move on down the line, please.
So, I'm Greg Burridge, producer, writer, director, sandwich maker, laundry cleaner, everything pretty much, apart from DPing and acting from these lads. Basically, I was lucky enough to be working in India at the time on a film that still isn't out because that's India, it's corrupt, but that's another story. So basically, they kept striking every 5 minutes. Literally every 5 minutes they were striking. So we did 2 weeks of filming. I think about 4 of them days I was on set. The rest I was in my hotel room. So basically, we kept striking. I said, look, we're going to have to wipe this block off, and then you're just going to have to come back on the next block, and we'll film it then. But I wanted to keep my kind of senses sharp. So I started going, okay, when I get back to England, this is 2017, by the way, when I get back to England, how can I keep my fight choreography senses sharp? I was very fortunate to have available to me the Resistance Gallery. Rest in peace, Dresgal. Yeah, I was running with Gary Vanderhorn. So I thought, okay, what if within them 2 weeks that I'm back in England, could I possibly create a film in 2 weeks? To keep just to be sharp, because there's angles and stuff, and for me, I need to be sharp, I guess, and just evolve my creativity with angles and stuff. So I thought, okay, let's try and make a film, just for fun. I've got guys down there; they all know street combat and stage fighting because that's what we do. Let's see if we can do it. So anyway, I kind of worked out this rough idea of a film. What about we could dress the gallery up like a pit. Okay, and we've got the balcony so they can look down. Okay, that's how it started. And then I kind of just developed this idea. I got back to England, I thought, okay, this is quite a good idea actually. Did a little bit more. Didn't get around to actually filming the film because I was lucky enough to work on another film at the time, which was great, so that kept my senses sharp. I always had this idea for a film in the back of my head. So as the kind of months and years passed, this idea about making a pit film in the gallery, I thought, okay, it's going to actually work because we've got all the sets and locations and everyone there. I can get all my mates in, they'll help me out, which you did. Thank you very much for helping me out, guys. So I thought, let's make a film. And then the more I thought about it, the more I developed, I thought, I really want to make this my main kind of outlet. So I developed this film, could be filmed in a gallery. I thought, okay, let's just film the first part of it and then see if we can raise some money, like all the proper filmmakers do, yeah? I ain't a proper filmmaker, so I thought, okay, let's do the proper route, try and do the first 10 minutes. I was very fortunate to get my good mate Brian Larkin in, who's currently in China working on the biggest budgeted Chinese movie ever. He's doing loads of fight scenes, so I'm totally cashing in on that when this film comes out. So I was lucky to get in for a couple of days, and I said this. And I got the stunt crew, a lot of you guys are here today, thank you. And we basically, I thought, okay, we've got 2 days. Let's structure this fight scene out the back. And we filmed it in 2 days. And I thought, wow, we filmed that whole bit at the start, that first 10 minutes in 2 days. Just half a day rehearsal as well. And then I thought, okay, I said to Brian after, I said, Brian, I've actually done this in really quick time. Would you be around in the next month or so for me to film, just have you for another 4 days maximum? He said, yes. And I went, sod it, let's just make the whole film. So that's how it come. And then I kind of asked people for favours. A lot of it is I was working in an academy down the road. They let me use part of it for some of the set. So I just thought, let's just make a film. And I did the same energy as I did with London Rampage. I made that on £1,000. I made this on £980, I think, in total. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
But it should be called Deathpit: How to Make a Film in the Pandemic with No Money, no crew, no cameras, no nothing. That should be the subtitle. Yeah.
How about yourself? So where did you come into the project? Who are you, for those that Don't know.
Hi, my name is Ash. I'm one of the DOPs. Phil, who isn't here. I thought it was an amazing project. I think the whole fact that it was very independent was really cool and actually homegrown. Everything that you see, all the action is like literally from everything that all the people that he's taught. And also, I grew up watching a lot of Bruce Lee, a lot of Hong Kong cinema. So, and I think it's just always been a dream of mine to kind of be able to work on a film like that.
He didn't have an option. Doing this film.
And actually, I learned a lot. So, how to work fight choreography. So that was also a really cool experience. And actually, having Greg as my mentor has been very vital in my journey into.
Don't
film.
put me over too much. Day one. So Ash
You're a filmmaker as well. So
Ash comes from. He makes food look really good for content, for media and stuff. That was his job at the time. So day one on set, we were filming, and he wasn't filming how I wanted him to film. Say that. So I was like, Ash, you're not filming food, mate. And I think he learned very quick then how I wanted the angles to go. So I apologise for shouting.
No.
But he learned.
It was.
You're not filming food.
It was very it's always been something that I've always wanted to do, and actually. Yeah, it was a big learning curve. A lot of stuff that I film tends to be a little bit more slower and a little bit more slow paced and this one was just like pow 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 pow.
I don't know if you guys. I took influence from Crank, the film. Yeah. So, and Ash being a fan of martial arts and Japanese cinema, Chinese cinema, they tend to shoot things from long wide angles in one solid take. Whereas for me, I wanted it to be very tight and compressed, so I wanted it to be shaky. But he's a true artist, so he wanted to.
I was just happy that I got to be in a fight scene. I hope you guys enjoyed.
He just happened to be in his pants. Yeah. Which again,
yes.
I feel bad. I kind of forced him to that as well. Now looking back at it.
No, that was that whole scene. We were like literally we filmed here.
So just in case you don't know, we filmed that underneath you right now, pretty much in the basement of Liberty Shopping Centre. It was very fortunate for Spencer to let us do that.
Do you know, I've not watched the film for 2 years now, a while. I've forgotten all about that. I've just completely forgotten.
So because
you did that.
Heavy COVID at the time. Like we just about got around some loopholes to film. But we couldn't have more than, I think, 4 people on set. So we had myself, Phil, Heidi, and Boris. So I was like, mate, you have to double up. So what do you mean? You have to get beaten up in your pants. No, okay. But I did buy him a pair of pants. So
yeah,
I still got them.
the banana pants.
They're cool.
yeah.
And how about yourself?
Hello. I am an actor and comedian, and I know Greg, so I used to put comedy nights on at the Resistance Gallery. My friend used to run poetry nights where I would perform at, so I had a lot of fun often going to Resistance Gallery, but sort of weirdly, rarely for the wrestling. For all the other brilliant things they put, because they put on loads of brilliant things at the Resistance Gallery. They're very supportive of me and of the arts in general. It was a really great place. I knew they did all the wrestling, and I was like, that's really cool. And I saw, we got invited to watch a night once, it was brilliant. And I was like, this is amazing. I knew you made London Rampage, and it was it was great. And in some of my other acting work, I'd worked with some other stunt people, and stunt people are really cool. And especially when you play the baddies or comedic relief, which I do, you get to sort of have to pretend. You have to do some fighting, because you have to sort of be able to throw some punches, but not like choreo, not like flipped over and stuff. You have to be so you feel really cool because you're sort of in it a little bit, and you're like, I look really great. And then I remember going, I should probably next time I see Greg, I should ask him. If you've been doing anything, I'd be up for being in it. And the next time I saw Greg, he said, I'd like to ask you a question. And I said, he said, I'm doing this film. Would you be up for being in it? And I was like, wow, if I can, I'd be. I just played it really cool. But I was like, literally the day he asked me to be in it, I was gonna go, if you're ever doing anything, I'd be up for being in it. So I was like, yes, I can be in it. So then I got to be in it. But it was crazy because it was it's really hard to remember pre-lockdown. What did you do? I don't know, it seemed like it was a million years ago, but it was great. But I like this because it's when I do loads of low budget films, So I enjoy the sort of the carnage of it. I also like it because I normally make low budget films, so it's nice to be an actor and not have to worry about how it's all going to edit together afterwards. I can just do it. I go, someone else's problem. Let them fix it in post. It's not my problem.
It was my problem for about 3 years.
Yeah.
3 bloody years.
I'm doing it. I'm going, I know this will all edit together, but you watch it and you go, it's amazing. But I very much like your style. So because he did the same sort of thing with London Rampage, so I knew it's nice when you work with someone. You go, I just do what he says because it's going to be fine. And also, there's a lot of necessity involved in these sorts of movies. You have to just go with it and not be precious.
When he says do you listen, not one person on the set got a script. It's just like, I just tell them do this. This could have been any film that they're walking into. So thank you for having faith in me. And also, Richard was the only person on set on all of his days. All the other fighters weren't there. So I'm like, just react to this point there, do that, say that, shout this.
It's good. But also, I've got a stutter, so we didn't have time. So all I really had to do was just, when I was acting, I was like, I've got to try and do this, I've got to try and do this, I've got to try and do this. What I've mostly got to do is make sure that I just stay in one continuous bit, whatever it is, so that I don't go, because my character wouldn't do that, so I would do that. But then if you don't know what the lines are, so it wasn't sort of improvised, but the hardest thing was, I've just got to say in one continuous bit to make sure that I don't stutter or pause or do it. And then go, that's right, so that's kind of the thing.
Smashed it.
That's good.
So Greg, you were, was it 2018 London Rampage you were here, or was it 2019?
2018.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what have you learned about filmmaking
Nothing.
from then? And
Absolutely.
there must have been something you picked up that was really important to you.
Do you know what?
When you shot this?
I thought, when I made London, okay, I didn't go to university to study filmmaking. I literally came from outside the industry in being a wrestler, getting into stunts from wrestling, and just I kind of backdoored it into film, if that makes sense. So I don't know skills and techniques, and I just do what I want to do and make it. And if people like it, great. That's my thing. Same in this film. I thought it's got no hidden meaning in it. I just wanted to sit there and enjoy it. And that was literally all I wanted to do. London Rampage had a little bit of hidden meaning with like gentrification of London and such. But the one thing I learnt from London Rampage was not actually about so much the techniques of film, which I did learn, to be fair, and a lot of them went into that film, which is why it took a long time to edit. The goings-on of film, backstage, and the festivals, not so much festivals, the markets, when you go to sell films. I learnt a lot about that side of it, and it's not nice, really. It's not good. The whole film industry as a whole, how films get made and such, and a lot of it isn't for artistic meaning, it's for money or whatever. I learnt a lot about that. So I came in to make this film thinking, well, I know all about that now, so no problems are going to happen to this film. We run into some problems. That's why the film's at this year's festival when it should have been at last year's festival. Should have
been at the year before's.
It should. So 2 years ago, and that's my fault because I've learnt more about the film industry since then. That now I know. But what I find quite scary, the people that you want to know about film don't necessarily know about film no more. So, as an independent, I mean, I don't even class myself like. Some of the films that are shown here, that's independent, yeah? I'm working class film, no money, kind of lower than independent, you know? Like a lot of them shots were done on an iPhone and a GoPro, if you noticed. I'm actually really happy that turned out with the on a big screen. So I just think it's really upsetting now that if you want your film to be on Amazon, you've got to have 100 million. Your daddy's got to have 200 million. You've got to have The Rock, Angelina Jolie, and someone else in there. Because otherwise, it's not going to get seen. And is this going to get seen? I don't know. I don't know how am I going to... I tried my hardest now for 3 years trying to get that out to the proper means, and it didn't happen. And it's no one's fault. It's just I think it's the way the industry is now. So now, I thought I learned everything about the film industry. Now I learn even more. So now it's like, okay, take all this information you know about the film industry, yeah. the backstage runnings of it, and let's see how we can adapt it and get that film up there. I'm looking at possibly getting this uploaded on a website called Film Hub, and basically what Film Hub does, they take independent film, you upload it to them, and then they do all the hard work. They distribute it on all the channels and all the people around the world. So that's the option at the minute. Get it out on Film Hub and hopefully, possibly try and make some money. But again, it's cost me £900 to make. So London Rampage cost me 900 odd pounds, but London Rampage really by default got me to work with Scott Atkins and work with Sylvester Stallone on Expendables. So that £900 was a great investment. So that's how I look at this. It's an investment of me, a show of what I can do. And if just say one person out of 1,000 people watches it and goes, look, I really like your work, because that's what happened with London Rampage and it's been worth it. Just sitting here with you guys today and watching that again, because that's the first time I watched it in a year. It was so much fun. I thought, it was worth just making that film, just to sit here with you guys and watch it and laughing at silly bits and there's Christian in his jacuzzi, things like this. That was fun. So yeah, but I think you're just always learning with film. I think you're always still learning, right?
I don't think anyone knows the answers
Just
anymore.
keeps
The world keeps turning.
Yeah.
But the people that make the indie film
Yeah.
are going to be the ones that are eventually going to think of a way looking after themselves rather than expecting these fucker studios
Yeah.
to kind of
Yeah.
help them. So
Spencer swore then.
I swear all the
He said
time.
fucker.
It's like Tourette.
Fuckers. I also think the pandemic fucked everything as
Yeah.
well. And I swore then. But yeah.
It's true though. It's true. You know, there's so many things that go against the filmmaker. There were things that went against the filmmaker before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Now they've just come in and exploited it for you more. You've got companies like Disney that have bought up
Yeah.
all the studios so that a cinema like this can only make 13p for every single film that
Yeah.
they show.
Yeah.
It's a joke. But as I said, the indie filmmakers are going to be the ones that are going to come up with their own route.
Yeah, and I think that's
And you are going to be one of those pioneers. I'm utterly sure of it. You're going to get that stuff.
Fuck
out.
yeah!
Believe it or
And
not.
you're all coming with me! And we're gonna fuck them over, am I right? Let me hear that! Fuck them! Fuck them! I'm a wrestler, can't help it.
I'm really sorry, but we're actually run out of time. That was 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And we need to move into the next film.
Okay.
But let's give these guys and anybody that's in an audience that's involved in this film in any way, shape or form
stand up,
a
guys.
huge
Film.
round of applause.
Yes!
Well done, guys. Thank you, guys. I really like the story about you. Thank you.
I'm also going to swear.
Fuck.
Yeah!